So yeah, back to what I was saying. So gradual. So first thing is I came out of uni, and then I started to like asking questions about the younger ones and stuff because I used to like even from school. I took a very strong role with the younger ones.
Okay.
Talk to them. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you fix up. You know what I mean? Just keep yourself out of trouble, man. Because I was demonized in school. Like, teachers, when they would, like, I remember they would come to the class and they would see my name. And they would look up, and then from there, they were like, making sure they knew.
Were you in trouble?
Yeah, bro, I was bad. Like, I was bad. Like, punched up a teacher in school, like.
Punched up a teacher in school? He's one of them kids, bro.
Yeah.
I never had the balls to do that. Yeah. I've done some crazy stuff.
Yeah, bro, it was just mad. Like, I was suspended from certain classes as well. I wasn't allowed in certain classes. I spent a lot of my time on report. I became really good friends with the deputy headmaster, which was weird. People found it very weird. They'd see me and him walking down the corridors. But he was a savior. He saw past all the bravado, and he could see what I couldn't even see yet. Mr. Garner, Mr. Alan Garner. And so, yeah, I took a strong role with the younger ones. So when I've come out of uni now and I'm here, did you hear about what I'm saying? What happened? He's like, oh yeah, them man, they had a gun in school, they were running from the police in school, that had running with the gun, throwing the gun to each other, like
in school.
Like running, you hold it, but it's got all your fingerprints on it now. Oh yeah, so and so's in jail. He's been in and out of jail. I'm like, oh, so and so's this. And I'm like, yo, the youths them are gone mad. Like I started to clock that the youths them were worse than us.
It always goes like that.
And I was like, what's happening? Because I was training them to be better. So that was the first thing I realized, the youths them. And I foresaw what we're experiencing now. I foresaw it years ago. Because I could see that the youths then were getting worse.
I think if you were on the streets in particular, you could have easily seen that.
Yeah. But a lot of men say to me, it's not worse, it's just seeing how it was for us. And there's a lot of truth in that as well, but I feel like it's got worse in terms of the age.
I think it's got worse in terms of age and in terms of the fact that social media just exacerbates.
Yeah. And also, we used to fight. Certain men were known for punching man up. Certain men were known to have got punched up. And then also, which is really...
Fight out at school?
Yeah, fighting was normal, man. That's just a way of like getting out that frustration and settling a little problem, you know what I mean? Like, even as we got older, we used to have we called it little Aggie. Remember Aggie? We Aggie man just to like see who's stronger.
I'm from East, so we had different slang.
Yeah. But like, man, used to Aggie a man up, you get me? Just to like, this, all right, cool. Man got you to the ground, all right, so, you get me? That one settled. Get me, man, stronger. And the thing is, I'm 5'7", but man, get it, like, bro, I punched up a lot of big, tall man.
Did you have short man syndrome without being rude?
Well, I wasn't short at the time. I was the same size as everybody else, but everybody else kept going.
Okay.
And I just stayed at 5'7".
Okay.
So I was like, I got to grow this then, innit?
I
got to grow this because I know it's growing. But, so, back to the point of what I was saying. Yeah. And also guns were more involved when we were young. Man more had guns. And then they were only getting bought out for certain things. Yeah. You hear man getting gun bucked just because man didn't want to shoot him. But then the stabbing thing wasn't how it was now. Even though a man tried to stab me when I was younger, and one of them lit me in the back of a hammer, one of them tried to drink me. It was only a little slice. It was nothing though. Just, you know me. Man was agile, you know, like man was agile. Yeah. And so that started it off. And then I think man, I don't know, like I've got too much empathy. I care too much. And some people say to me, no, it's not too much, bro. You know, like obviously the things you do, but I do. I can't let things happen around me and
not do nothing about it.
Or at least in the very least, like try to contribute. And then what happened is that led to me getting into mentoring. I did anti-gang, anti-knife work with Lives Not Knives, who are now a registered charity. Big up Eliza and Monique. And then they trained me up as well in actually dealing with challenging behaviour. I got a diploma as well. I already had a degree, but I got a diploma in working with youth work practice, different modules to do with dealing with challenging behaviour. And I became a behaviour specialist as well. So after that, I went on to doing like a bit of like work in schools and stuff, behaviour mentoring, and then I became a behaviour specialist. I worked on a summer program with the NCS where I was a behaviour specialist, and I actually designed a role that they rolled out nationally where they had someone that was hired specifically to work with behavior in the young, because it's a project that takes like loads of inner city, and not even it's kids all over the country for a whole summer. They go on a 6 week journey of where they go away somewhere to camp, hike, blah blah blah. Then they do a week where they have to design a program. They learn specialist skills in different areas, and then they put it together and do a project, and then they make money for a charity, all this stuff. But during those weeks, especially in South London, no offense to South, but like I did a lot of my work in South, they have a lot of issues with like, you know, the young men, and especially from opposing areas and stuff. Oh, Aaron, we got a problem in Peckham, could you come down? So I'm going up to Peckham now and sorting out issues between the youth them. That was my job, because I understand.
Did you find out rewarding?
I've never thought of it like that, actually. Rewarding. That's an interesting word. I felt good, so I guess that's rewarding it. I guess I felt good to know that I could work with a young man and maybe help him to maybe see something differently.
Did any of your talks work? I mean, it probably set off inspiration, set off ideas. Did you see anyone make a full change from the roads to doing something probably slightly more productive, or even just coming off the roads because of a talk?
See, the thing about my job here, my role is there's a few aspects to it. First of all, you take a lot of losses. Unfortunately, you work in behaviour, you take a lot of losses. But secondly, also, I can't track people's journeys. I'm not legally allowed to.
Of course, yeah.
I work with them when I work with them, and then when they have to move on, it's like safeguarding is I can't give them a phone number. I can't take their phone number. They're still seen as a minor or a younger person. So all I can do is find out information through maybe somebody else.
So what happens when after they're done with you?
And that's the problem. Like, I worked in one of the worst schools in Northwest London, as a sixth form supervisor there. And that's where my behaviour stuff started. It wasn't supposed to be, but a lot of my work was behavioural, with like 16 and 17-year-olds and turning 18-year-olds. And there was one youth that I had to bad him up, something horrible, like to the point where I felt like I was gonna try and catch him outside the school and like shake him up a little bit. You get me? But then I was like, Roach, what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you thinking about? Just rudeness. And I'm trying to talk to me certain stuff. Because you know what it is? They see you working in a role and they forget that, all right, like, I'm here now, but
I wasn't.
Do you know what I mean? But then I was in Lidl, strange enough, with my mum, taking my mum to Lidl to go and get some of those cheap veg and fruit they got in there. You know, it's cheap veg and fruit in there. And then I hear like, yo, sir. And I could tap and I'm like, oh shit, I'm saying, yo. He's like, yeah. Yeah, I'm at uni now, you know, so I'm doing maths, but I stayed in London to be closer to my family. I'm like, geez, look at this guy making big man decisions and doing big man things. And I'm like, bro, I'm so happy. And in fact, I posted about it on my did I put it on my Instagram as well? I feel I put it on my Instagram as well. Maybe about a year and a half ago or something like that, 2 years ago. And I was like, yeah, man, I got mad emotional about it. I posted up a whole statement that I made. I could probably even find it. But it was just basically a statement that just basically said, you know, like, it's the moments like this that make, you know, the hard work that I try to do, working with young people, worth it, man. You know what I mean? It's like, just that. Like, it's not. Some people might say it's not a major achievement for some people, but for me, it's major.
Would you want to do more?
That's the thing. You need to understand. Like, when I left because I had a behavior base at a school. I had something called the brain. Yeah. And I renamed it Behavior Results by Addressing Issues Now, BRAIN. Yeah, because that's what it was. We're trying to get behavior results by addressing your issues now. I had girls and boys in my base, and I worked intensively with them. It was quite punitive, so they weren't allowed to go out and have like lunch times and break times in a normal way. They have to go with me, and we come back to the room. Very much a punitive measure to try and help them reform this behavior to get them back integrated into the school before the school lets go of them altogether. The TV stuff started popping off. I did the first like show, and it's like I started to realize that I can't film and be here at the same time. And plus the school was starting to make changes where I think they couldn't really afford me because I was a contractor. And so they would have to put me on a contract with them, and they couldn't really afford me, so it was up in the air. And I was like, I'm gonna have to go. But that was the hardest thing for me to do, because these young people, have so much inconsistency in their life already.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be another inconsistent figure in their life.
Yeah.
But then one of my friends was like, yeah, but bro, like what you're doing now, it's like it's even, they can see what you're doing and they can still get inspired by that, or they can still take from that. And then more people can see it as well and maybe take from it. And I'm like, I hear that. That's a nice romanticized way of thinking about it. But literally, and they need me there.
What are some of the inconsistencies in these children's lives that you've seen?
Parental.
Is it mainly always
parental, sometimes just inconsistency from parents, like in terms of like, I'll give you an example. There was a young man that I was working with, and the thing is, lovely young man when he's with me, but crazy when he was outside of like my environment. And apparently he's lovely at home as well with his mum. His mum used to say, oh, I don't understand, he must only be here. I'm like, no, I think it's something that you're doing, babes, like, you know what I mean? But so I'll give you an example. He remind me of a young me still. Man dashed like chairs and table at a teacher or something like that. Yeah, like, and God forgive me, man. But and sorry to Mr. Lee. Yeah, I don't know where you are, man. I heard he got scared.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Lee still. I heard he got scared and tried to leave the country. But this young man throwing chairs, tables at a teacher. And so he's got in trouble, obviously. Yeah. You know, he's been excluded. What do they call it again? They used to call it
expelled.
A fixed term exclusion, they used to call it.
Fixed term exclusion.
Yeah, because they put
That's
a certain...
posh.
They put, trying to put a certain time on it. Obviously, fixed term meant that, you know...
Yeah, you're not coming back.
No, excluded for a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay. Obviously, fixed term, yeah, of course.
But then you get, like, permanent exclusion.
Okay, cool.
So the boy's gone home, and the mum's told me, I bought him this. The other time, hoverboards were the thing.
Yeah.
I bought him a hoverboard. And, you know, it came, and so I just gave it to him. I'm like, no, you can't do that. These are the inconsistencies. If a child has done something wrong, you cannot go and give him or her a gift.
Yeah.
Because what you do then is you're reinforcing that the behavior that they've displayed is fine.
Yeah.
And I try to make these kind of things be understood. Like, this is the thing about behavior. It's like we have to be very careful about what we're enforcing without even saying.
Yeah.
You can slap me in my face and I keep hugging you. As someone that doesn't have any emotive understanding, you think, well, the slap in the face must be okay because he's hugging me. He's showing me a level of affection even though I'm showing him a level of aggression. Simple. Yeah, so that's what I mean about inconsistencies. But as well as inconsistency in terms of family and, you know, dad's not being there was a major factor that I saw with a lot of my young boys especially.
Considering everything you've been through, what does it take to be ready for kids? If you could answer that. Considering, and again, it's only going to come from you being on one side of the spectrum. There's other kids who grew up amazingly with amazing lifestyles. But in this era now, in this day and age, what's needed to raise a good child, do you reckon?
To raise a good child, you have to be ready to understand that your life is no longer about you. Your life is now a life that is ready to be sacrificed for the betterment and the nurturing of another human being. That's the main thing I feel for me. When you're ready to say, do you know what? I'm cool to take a sip, but I don't need Giuseppe's. I don't need as many expensive things before because I want to put that love, that money, that attention into another human being who is mine, who I want to raise from infancy to adulthood. That is when you're ready, and I've seen it in other men that I know as well.
But do you think the way the kids are, in particular some of the ones you were talking to, do you think their parents lacked that?
Maybe not, you know.
No. So then...
Maybe not. But it's hard. Parenting is not easy. You know, you're a parent. You're a parent.
And my mum had a bit hard time being mum.
Yeah, so. Exactly. We know we cause problems. Sometimes I think about the embarrassment to my mum that I must have caused, and I feel so bad. That's why I work so hard now, because I'm trying to replace them embarrassments with like achievements. You know, like that. Oh, he's on TV again. Boom. That's like that's one. That's one explosion. That's like that's you know what I mean. It's like a scoreboard. It's like right now the badness is still there. I'm trying to do a couple more shows, maybe win a couple of awards. Bring her. I got invited to the Diversity and Media Awards. I brought my mum with me, bro.
Yeah.
Like I just brought her with me. Like I told her put on a dress, let's go. Like it wasn't. I wasn't being honoured or anything like that. I was like, let's come with me, get an experience. You know what I mean? Welcome to my world and see like what's going on. And she loved it. I'm trying to knock down those negatives slowly but surely. But yeah. So you say what is it then? Parenting's hard. But like, even for me as a behavior specialist, sometimes I even felt bad. I'm trying to advise you as a parent on what you need to do with your child, but I only have your child 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Yeah. You have your child 24 hours a day, 52 weeks a year, 365 or 66 days. It's very much easy for me to say things. Yeah. The reason why I think problems happen is it's not easy right now as well, bro. Especially it's not easy because people are working, trying to provide.
People always work. People always try to provide.
Yeah, but bro, it's never been, especially in London, it's never been as people are surviving. Like that's what it is now. People are working to survive. No one's working to live anymore. Well, some people are if they're lucky enough to. They've achieved a certain level of affluence, or maybe they've worked their way to a certain level of affluence. But in general, people are working to survive, and they're working every living hour that there is to have that survival. Unfortunately, children are being not neglected, but they're not getting as much attention as they would, especially if you have a situation where there's only one parent. And that one parent has multiple jobs. The child is coming home by itself, maybe making food for itself. Mum or dad comes home late evening. By that time, they're either in bed or maybe they might even be out on the streets because I've got no one's here. I might as well just go on the street, see what I go on. You're the older man that are out there, so let me see what they're saying. Oh, the older man are kind of like my older brothers. They're kind of like my dad to me still.
And that's how it was still.
And the cycle commences.
Do you see a difference in you and your friends who grew up with one parent at home? Do you consider yourself fortunate?
But I hate
comparing yourself to other people.
But I hate saying it. Yeah, because
it's your reality. You can't.
Yeah, but saying that though. Yeah. Do you know what it is? Even on a normal level, let's just be logistically straightforward. Yeah. You have two people. Yeah. Both earning money and working. Yeah. You will have more in your household because you have two incomes. On a normal logistic level, it's a difference. Yeah. But let's go back to me and my friends. I say yes, but saying that, one of my friends, even though he was a hustler as well. Yeah. He always worked. So he worked and hustled to the point where now he's saved money, he's invested, and he's actually not hustling anymore. But he had only his mum. Him and his mum. You know what I mean? He didn't go through the educational stuff like I did. He didn't go any further education and stuff, but he worked, hustled, and he achieved a certain position in life.
You know what's interesting? So I wonder if you know what's interesting? The fact that we're from a certain place means we downplay hustling. Yeah. If we're talking, I'm not saying what your boy done. Let's just assume hustling means selling drugs or robbery or whatever. Where we've grown up, that shit is normal. Everyone shops. Everyone's hustling. We don't even know hustling. You get what I'm saying? You'll never know. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's okay. No. Because in the normal world, people don't do that.
Yeah. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. Like, I was in a meeting yesterday with my the director of my series on Sky One. He's actually from the hood as well originally. Yeah. And I was saying to him that.
Sorry, before you start, your series directors from the hood.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Black guy. Yeah.
Are there many black people up in there?
He's the only one that I know. Like he does the Sky One show that I do, and the thing is, the Sky One show that he does doesn't even get that much love from Sky One.
Alright, let's go back. We'll go back to that.
But and we were having dinner yesterday after we had a meeting because we're going to start filming our new series within the next month or so. And I said to them on the table, there was one Asian girl, 3 white girls, him. I was like, a lot of us from the inner city that come from certain environments or certain areas, we're suffering from PTSD. But we don't realize it. And I say that because what you just said, post-traumatic stress disorder, I say that because violence is normal.
Exactly.
Violence is normal. And hustling, selling drugs, being in dirty crack houses with man that are testing your food to make sure it's good, and man that are coming in there itching and twisting.
People with real problems,
real problems
bruv,
is
like,
normal.
Yeah.
Oh, please, just a little bit. Oh, man, cool, man. Just, hey, look, go back down the block, man. Normal for us. Some people will see that and they'll run for their life. Oh my God, what am I in?
People only hear about that on the news sometimes and think these guys are villains, but they're just normal people.
That's why in One Punch Killers, I did a poem in the block at the bottom of my road where one of my oldest actually ended up doing a mad thing and he's in jail for like life, And in that poem I said, where I'm from, violence was normal to me. He got beaten up was my normality. Tempers grow, punches throw. I never so much as flinched. I grew used to mothers mourning their kids. It's only as I got older I realized what I had seen wasn't right. I tell others my story, they cry, I didn't understand why. You see, violence is violence, from the lightest crunch to the heaviest thud, no, to the lightest crunch. Do you even know the damage you can do with just one punch? And what I was saying in that is
that was in a documentary,
Bro, but what I was saying there is like, and this is a true story, because I was in uni and I was telling a girl about some things that had happened and she started crying. And I didn't understand why. Because I'm like,
I hear you, you know.
Bro, I'm like...
I hear you. People are shocked sometimes.
It's just, unfortunately, our normality.
Yeah.
He got beaten up was my normality.
Yeah.
Tempers grow, punches throw. I never so much as flinched.
Yeah. And you'd be lucky if it was a punch as well.
Yeah. Because we grew to mother mourning their kids. Horrible. So, you know, PTSD is a real thing. And it's something that I said on a Channel 5 show the other day. I went to on a debate on Channel 5 about, you know, it's called Law and Disorder. It was about the whole problems that we've got right now in the streets. And I was like, we've got a lot of young people who are seeing their best friend, their cousin, their brother, their people being murdered from a very young age. Before they're 18, they've witnessed multiple murders and nothing's happening after. There's no aftercare. There's no counselling. So what's happening? Those ill feelings that they have are just staying in them and they're being sent back out into the world. What's going to happen then?
Of course.
A lot of these boys that are killing because their brethren's been killed. Pussy, come here!
Revenge.
Yeah, you try to kill D, yeah?
And the thing is, what people don't understand is, people say, when's the violence going to stop, when's the violence going to stop? But until you can bring a friend back from the dead,
it's not going to stop.
You can't stop it, bro.
And these guys are keeping scoreboards now. Like they're keeping official scorecards. Like we kept mental scorecards. We kept certain people dear to us in our hearts and remember that they've been taken away. But we weren't keeping official scorecards, bro. That's mad.